Warzone 2 has been out for a bit over a month, and the experience has been interesting. There was hype at first, and then a little bit after that, they had a lot of content creators coming out and saying that the views were lower than they had ever been for a Warzone game, and that's not good. And now we're seeing the developers kind of roll back a lot of the changes they made. Like one of them, the more recent one, would be that they're adding loadouts back into the buy station, which is cool in my opinion, but overall, the future for Warzone is looking a little bit hazy, to say the very least. I don't know how it's going to be in the short term, but one thing that I am excited about is the long-term future of Warzone, and more specifically, that future being in 2024. Now, why am I saying this? Well, you guys already know. It's because that's when Treyarch's game is going to be coming out. Treyarch will be releasing their game that they've been working on for 4 years at that time, and it's just going to be perfect. I already decided that it's going to be perfect. You can't change my mind. I don't care. Now, you may be wondering, like, what does Treyarch have to do with Warzone? They, like, never work on Warzone. Like, last time they released the game, it didn't change Warzone that much. We just had Verdansk, except slightly in the past, and also all their guns, which I guess was a change, I guess. I don't know if it's a big one or not, but, you know, the meta changed, so that was something, too. But this time around, I think that there's very strong reasons to believe that Warzone 2 is going to really change when Treyarch releases their games. And I mean, like, on a fundamental level, like not just from the guns, but from the time to kill, the gameplay features, the things you buy in the loadout, and especially the entire map, which is something that would be new for Treyarch because they've never worked that much on Warzone. And the reason I think all of this is because Treyarch kind of straight up told us they were going to be doing this. And we've known this for about a month now, and people just kind of overlooked it, which, to be fair, there was a good reason to overlook it, because another thing that was mentioned in that exact same area where we found out this information was also the mention that we may be getting a free-to-play COD Zombies experience in Outbreak come 2024 also. And I mean, that just took precedent. That's the reason why I made that video. And if you missed that video, which is a really good one, because that's pretty exciting, I'll link it on screen now. But that was my focus at the time. But one thing that I said in that video that I'll probably make a separate video on, and I've taken this long to do it, is talk about kind of the main point of that whole thing Treyarch released. Because if you guys missed it, how we even learned any of this was because Treyarch tweeted out a bunch of jobs that they wanted to have filled. They wanted to hire people for them, and they gave us job titles and descriptions, and I'll show you the one on screen now that started this whole discussion. And what it says is Senior Level Designer, Warzone, Treyarch. Like, what else does that tell you? They're looking for people to hire to work on Warzone for their game. Like, this confirms Treyarch will be taking over full development of Warzone for the very first time ever. And that is so freaking exciting, because first things first, I'm a Treyarch fanboy and I love everything they do. Second things second, I love Blackout, and I cannot wait to see Treyarch get another shot at making a battle royale game mode, because they really haven't had that. They haven't had another attempt at it. It's just been Blackout. And as much as I like Blackout, I recognize that there was a lot of shortcomings in that game. The map was very sparsely populated with stuff, and you know, it just wasn't exactly the greatest Warzone experience on a objective level. As much as I loved it, I have to at least admit that. But at the same time, I realized that they had to make Blackout in a very short amount of time because they had to find something to replace the canceled campaign with. And on top of that, they made it on the freaking Black Ops 4 engine that most definitely wasn't made to support a battle royale game. And just thinking about what Treyarch could do now that they have freaking 4 years to develop this, and on top of that, they have an engine now that is actually made to build Warzone maps or battle royale maps on it. Like, the possibilities right there alone that Treyarch could do is super exciting. Like, so many cool things could potentially happen. I think about everything Treyarch could do. Like, there's the obvious things that you just expect from Treyarch. There's the way they have their guns work. They like to have them in not as weird recoil stuff and stuff like that. Like, you guys know how the guns work compared from Infinity Ward to Treyarch. I don't think I really need to explain. Like, the guns just work different, and in my personal opinion, I like how they work more inside Treyarch games, so that's already going to make a big difference. But on top of that, another thing Treyarch is really known for is for their longer time to kills. They like when it takes longer amount of time to actually kill someone with your gun, which is also something I like and I really cannot wait for. And to me, I think that's something they should already do with the current Warzone, because you drop incredibly fast in this game. So right away, those are some small changes that will already be good, in my opinion, once they take control over this game. And there's so many other crazy possibilities that could happen. Of course, there's all the stuff they could change with fundamentals of how the game works. They could change so many things that we can't even imagine. But one thing that I'm so sure that they are going to do, and I'm really excited for more than anything, is that finally Treyarch will be making a map for Warzone. That seems to be most definitely what's going to be happening. I just can't wait to see what they finally do with the full capabilities and time to make a battle royale map, like how they really want to do it. Because we've seen their other attempts with Blackout, and then even a secret Blackout 2 that was cancelled with Cold War that was reused in the Outbreak Zombies game mode. If you guys missed that, you want to kind of get an idea of what they were doing there then. But we've seen those. But how could it look when they have the time and resources to actually make a map? Because I know a lot of people immediately think it's just going to be just like the Blackout map, but I really don't think that'll be the case, because I really think that if they have an engine that's fully capable of making a map like we see Infinity Ward make with Verdansk and also AnimalsMore, like, I think they'll do something pretty impressive too. They'll have a more populated map. It won't be as open as Blackout and even those canceled Blackout 2 maps, right? It's not going to exactly be like that, but at the same time, I don't think you'll be as chaotic as all the Infinity Ward maps, because Infinity Ward, you know, that's kind of what they do. Like, you see the philosophy in these two development studios in their multiplayers. Like, we see the difference between those. Treyarch likes a more understandable kind of 3-laney maps that just kind of flow well, whereas Infinity Ward, they kind of like the more chaotic, right? They like things to just not always be too predictable. They want to keep you always on your toes, to put it in a nice way. So that's the two different fundamental ideas that they go into map making. So I think that will translate over to the Warzone map that they eventually make for Warzone 2 in 2024. We'll see a map that makes a bit more sense, a bit less chaotic, and just a lot more understandable. I don't think we'll see areas like maybe downtown from Verdansk, or maybe any other quacky places you could think of. I think we'll see places where you have an idea of where people will be. You'll see more ways of being able to counter people in power positions. That's something Treyarch has always felt really strong about. That's why rooftop campers weren't really a big deal in Blackout, because they added in mechanics to make it easier to deal with these people. Not only the longer time to kill, but on top of that, they added in a grapple gun, so you just sneak up on someone camping on a roof whenever they were not expecting. Sure, you can hear it, but there were definitely mechanics there. So to me, I just think that every decision they make in map making is also going to have some way to counter it, whether it be and also decisions made in that exact same map making or equipment that they will add in. All of that is what I expect out of Treyarch, because that is what they do. That's what we've seen from them in the past. And overall, there's just so many things I'm excited to see when Treyarch finally releases their games. It's not only this, I'm excited to see Warzone stuff because I want to see their Battle Royale map, but I just want to see Treyarch again because I just love Treyarch. I'm not hiding my bias at all. I love the Treyarch. I'm a huge Treyarch fanboy. They make the best Call of Duty games, and it's not even close in particular. So I can't wait for this. I can't wait for Warzone 2. I can't wait for Zombies again, and I can't wait for their multiplayer experience all over again. All that is going to be exciting once it finally gets here, but at the same time, it's still 2 freaking years away, so let's not all get too excited. But regardless, that's going to wrap it up for this video. And I'd love to hear what you guys think about this idea of Treyarch taking over development for Warzone like completely? How do you think the game will play? What are some ideas that you think Treyarch will introduce them? How do you think the map will actually be laid out? How do you think anything about it? I'd love to hear all your thoughts and speculations down in the comment section below. Regardless though, that's going to wrap it up for me. If you guys did enjoy the video, definitely do all the normal YouTube stuff, like, subscribe, bell, share, and all that great stuff, but I'm going to go. I'll catch you guys next stream, video, or whatever the heck it may be, and latest guys.